Welcome to MomentumX, a podcast platform that is designed to accelerate growth in leadership, finance, and personal development. Now, I'm your host, Boniface Wealth. In this episode, which is the first episode, we are looking at building sustainable wealth. And I'm not alone on this one. I'm together with two individuals, Zach, who is a Forex expert, a Forex trader, and David Charles, a cryptomaniac. He is a crypto analyst. Now, both of them are passionate about leadership, personal development, and finance. I won't hype them too much. I believe you've read about them in the previous post I made about our speakers. Now, diving deep into the subject matter of today, building sustainable wealth. Without wasting much of our time, I'll throw the question to one of them. What is building sustainable wealth? You're welcome on the show, sir.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, and you're looking good.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
Welcome, sir. So, we are looking at the subject matter, building sustainable wealth. What does it mean to build sustainable wealth? What is building sustainable wealth? And give us a light on that.
All right, sir. Thank you very much. All right. Now looking at those words, particularly, let me give a foundation on building. Now, what does building entails? Building entails a structural process that has an end goal. That is to say, looking at building is methodical. It is systematic. Now, being systematic and being methodical means that you will have a starting point, which will involve a process, and then it will have an end point, which is your desired vision, what you've imagined versus the actual reality. Now, that will permit me to actually say that wealth creation is beyond just material or physical acquisition.
Oh,
Yes. And that is to say, mindset, your mind, wealth begins from there. Yes. Because what you cannot envision, you cannot achieve, or you cannot bring it to reality. So that is why I said it is methodical. It is because it starts from an idea, which will have a process of bringing about that idea into reality. Yeah.
Thank you so much. So you are saying that wealth, beyond just having it materially, it begins here.
Yes. To add up with that and to further give us a clear picture of that. Now imagine you having a glass cup, and you wanting to empty a tank of water into the glass cup. Then you will find out that it may be possible, but the glass cup can contain only but a little. Yes. But just imagine emptying that tank of water to a sea.
Just a little increase, actually.
Yes. So your capacity within will determine what you can bring out without.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. This is explosive. My mind is already far with this.
Yes.
But thank you so much
Thank
for
you very
that.
much.
So there you have it. I'll let it throw the same question to Mr. Zaz. What do you have to say about that?
Well, I really like the scenario you gave us. Wealth actually starts from the mind. You cannot build what you have not envisioned. Part of what he said, right?
That's right.
And you cannot empty a tank of water into just a little glass of cup because it does not really have the capacity to hold so much. So that's right. For me, building sustainable wealth, right? And he said that it contains, there has to be a structure, right, of accumulation. So, and there has to be a process. So when we talk about building sustainable wealth, we're not just talking about something that you have for a period of time. We are talking about something that you have, something that outgrows, something that outlives you. It's not just a period where you experience abundance and the next moment it is not there. Because we have a lot of people who walk in abundance for a moment. Imagine a gambler walking to a casino and then casting, throwing the dice, and all of a sudden wins a lot of cash. Give him a period of time, that money is going to become, that is not sustainable. So when we talk about building sustainable wealth, it means you have structures, you have systems in place where the wealth that you have, right, the money that you have is sustained over a period of time. And trust me, we cannot talk about sustainability without your wealth actually outliving you. So you have to create systems and structures where whatever it is that you have, whatever it is that brings about the wealth that you possess, has to be passed down to your next generation. So it is not just about you having it, but also can you pass it down to the next generation? Because we have a lot of people who accumulate wealth but lack a very good succession plan. So the moment they die, that's the end. There is no sustainability. So succession has to be part of it. It is a core part of building wealth or building sustainable wealth.
Wow, this is amazing. I just got two take from this. One, wealth has to be there has to be a system and there has to be a structure, and the wealth that cannot be passed to the next generation is not wealth.
Yeah, it cannot be considered.
It cannot be considered as wealth. So it has to be generation. It has to outlive you to the next generation.
Yeah. In fact, see, looking at some, okay, let me cite an example with some brands or businesses or companies. For example, when you look at Gucci, Gucci was founded long before, but Gucci still exists. Louis Vuitton, LV, is also a brand and also a business, but the people who started it are not leading, yet they created system and structure that was able to sustain what they started. When we talk about sustainable wealth, there has to be structures, there has to be systems where it outlives you, it is independent of you. So you're not there, yet there are structures and systems in place that can be able to sustain whatever it is that you have built over time.
Wow, that's amazing. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for that. Sir, coming back to you, hearing this, I mean, I'm already boosted out with a lot, but let me ask you,
How does one create wealth? All right. First of all, now, people, the major challenge we have with people is that, or most times, the challenges people have is this. Now, people want to create or build wealth, but they have this, should I call it imaginary, or the feeling or the idea of luck. You get it? And so there is no way, and based on what we've established, that wealth has to go pass through structures and systems. And then when we spoke about building, that was what we established. Now, the idea of luck will just allow you to maybe stumble into riches and not wealth. Why? Because you can be rich but not wealthy.
you can be rich and you're not wealthy.
Yes.
Can we expand on that, sir?
Yes. Do you know that being rich can make you look wealthy? Can make you look. But wealth in itself makes you wealthy.
Let me throw that to them.
Yes.
Being rich can make you look wealthy, but wealth itself makes you wealthy.
Now, so now, if we are looking at that, that is to say, we are going to look at the processes that will make for building of wealth, and which is one, I'll just give some few here. And first of all, you have to have an income generation. I don't know. You have to have an income in whatever way. Some people actually get this through jobs, and while others they will begin building business from the scratch. You get it? But then most times, if you leverage on what consumers are looking for and build a product around their need, you get to find out, you get to get money in exchange for the value you give. Yeah, you offer.
Right.
You get it. Now, let's take for example now some establishment in the crypto field. Now let's look at now. I've been in the crypto space for a while, and I've seen a lot of rug pulls because people can just create token out of the blue, and because of hype, and you just see that it just goes up and all of a sudden it crashes. Why? Because when you check beneath it, there is nothing, there is no value. So now, yes, now let's look at some cryptocurrency platforms or tokens that have use cases.
I was actually waiting for that.
Okay. All right.
Crypto is that your word?
You know, we'll definitely come back to that. All right.
Crypto mania.
Okay. All right. Now looking at XRP, Ripple, they have one of the best ledgers compared to Swift. They have one of the best ledgers, and I believe banks are adopting it. Why? Because it is fast and it has low transaction cost.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah. So, and looking at Bitcoin in itself, it is a token, or is actually a coin that is used as an hedging against inflation for most countries. I believe most countries prefer storing or saving using Bitcoin because of the inflation in their economy. So they prefer using Bitcoin, saving using Bitcoin to protect their economy against inflation.
Wow.
So you can see now, because of the value all of attached to this, it will remain sustainable. Why? Because they leverage on the day-to-day usage of the consumer or the need that the consumer have. So for you to build wealth, first you need to have a product that will give value to the consumers, and then from there you can that is when you begin to set up systems that will make for the sustainability of that, and the continual usage that is what will give you wealth.
Amazing. I mean, this is my way. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
I mean, while we digest this, I'll throw a same to you so that we just digest all together. All right. And what do you have to say about wealth creation, sir?
All right. So for me, right, I would like to talk about it again in general, building sustainable wealth, right? For me, actually, there are about 4 stages, if I can remember, about 4 stages. And wealth creation is just one when it comes to building sustainable wealth. And I really thank God where he expounded. I remember when we were having a conversation off air, he spoke about intangible and tangible products, where he expanded between the skill that you have that can also bring you income. So number 1, when it comes to the 4 stages of wealth creation, right? Number 1, which is wealth creation, where he just explained that, right? You can create wealth, right? Wealth creation has to do with you doing something that generates income for you, right? It can be your job, right? The work that you do, 9 to 5 job that brings you money, right? It could be that you build business, right? Where the business actively bring income to you. Remember, we're talking about number 1, which is wealth creation. Or you have an investment, right, that brings in money to you, right? So that's number 1. Number 2 in that stage is wealth growth, right? Now that you have a system that brings income to you, the second thing you need to focus on is to grow, right? You need to grow the money that comes to you. You need to grow the multiple streams of income that you have, you need to grow it. You need to grow it, right? And then looking at it, right, this is where you have to bring, we talk about investment, because you cannot talk about growing wealth without talking about investment, because saving is not investment. Actually, there's difference between saving and investment. So first, wealth creation; two, wealth growth, right? That's apart from accumulation that we're talking about growth, right? And then the third is wealth preservation. Yes, wealth preservation. After you, yes.
So you spoke about wealth growth. I mean, you spoke about wealth creation.
Yeah.
You expound on wealth creation, which I really like what you said, connecting it back to the sustainability of wealth. I don't know if you have something to say about the growth, particularly wealth growth.
All right.
But he spoke about, investment businesses and all of those things. I think, how does the wealth grow generally?
I'll say for you to build, for you to get, I guess where most entrepreneurs or young startups missed it is delayed gratification. Wow. Do you know that I was hearing a billionaire real estate realtor, and someone that is a juggernaut in the real estate space. I guess this man, Michelle Holmes, Mr. Barker, he was sharing the chronology of how they started. Now that even when the company was into billions in valuation, he said he didn't touch a dime in all of the profits that were coming. He said for 5 years, whatever they get, he puts it back to the business. Whatever they get, he puts it back to the business. There is no doubt they were giving a usable and a product that is useful to the people. But then he has this, that if I eat what I have, or if I eat my profit, then there is no way I can grow, and there is no way I can be sustainable. So I believe you having a product and delay your gratification so that over time, whatever you have can be able to grow. Once you can channel them into the right system, diversifying your investment, and that is also a way you can actually do that to make it grow. Diversify it. Once you diversify it, I guess it will also expand more.
Thank you so much, Saja. I mean, this is great because you spoke about the growth in the aspect of businesses. He spoke about the value, the products, and also diversification. I just needed to get a perspective on that, because you were already going into the third aspects of building sustainable wealth, which is wealth preservation. Can you tell us more about that?
All right. So we actually spoke about wealth creation, which is the accumulation stage, down to the growth, where he expounded more. And the third on the line is wealth protection. Now that you have wealth, now that you have built wealth, right, you need to learn strategies on how to protect the wealth that you have. You need to learn strategies how you can be able to protect your wealth from inflation. When there's inflation, how do you keep what you have? When there's crisis, how do you protect your wealth? Now, these are things that you have to literally put your head. If you really want to build sustainable wealth, you must learn protection strategies. You must learn protection strategies. And we'll talk about this maybe when we talk about sustainability, right? And the last part of building sustainable wealth, right, is wealth transfer. Just like I said in the intro, you have to have a succession plan in motion. After you've built wealth, you know that you are not going to live forever. Definitely, you're not going to live forever. You definitely will die one day. So you need to have a succession plan. What systems or what structures have you put in place that the wealth you have accumulated can be passed down to the next generation. And I like the fact that from the beginning we established an understanding that wealth is not actually just about money.
It's not just about money.
Okay, we did a bit little research, right? And we got to find out that wealth is not actually money. It came from the word weller, from the Old English.
The word wealth itself.
Weller.
Yeah.
From the Old English, then down to well-being. It means it's something that you build holistically. So, in fact, you cannot accumulate so much wealth if you're not a man of integrity. So, value is also part of it. You cannot build so much wealth if you don't have a very good network. Of course, if you can also build so much wealth if you don't have a strong spiritual connection, right? Of course, we know all these things. So, preservation, wealth transfer, right, is the last thing I'm talking about, right? Wealth transfer. So there has to be a succession plan included for you to be able to build sustainable wealth. So number one, wealth creation, right?
Yeah, is it wealth creation?
Number two is wealth growth. Then the third one is
The wealth preservation.
wealth preservation, and the last one, that's the last stage, is
Wealth transfer.
Well, can I add up something to that wealth transfer? All right, most times I guess it was the king of Saudi was saying something around that side. So most times you will find that parents will build and amass wealth. Why? Because they are coming from suffering. So they know what it means to lack, and then they will pass it down to their children, who have a glimpse of what they pass through. And those children, they may take it to heart and build it because they are in first-hand touch with the process. And then once they pass it to their grandchildren, who have no idea of what it means to lack, then most times they feel it, and they fail to gain that sustainable strategy.
So it goes from first generation,
second generation,
then
and the third and the fourth generations are the ones having the issue. So you see, that is the place where mindset comes in. Now let's take, for example, there is a deliberate and intentional mentorship strategy or a system in place. I guess this thing or this wealth transfer will be much easier. Now, when you look at it in that way, when you look at it in that order, then it will be clear that if the appropriate mentorship is given, the mindset is given, then wealth can be transferred. Now, considering this guy, Ford, Henry Ford began in his own little corner, and we have the Ford company up till today because there was a succession in the transfer. Likewise, Mercedes-Benz. Likewise, other businesses, other brands.
He spoke about
He
spoke about Gucci. So there was a transfer. Do you want to say something about that?
actually in the succession plan. When it comes to wealth transfer, what you hand over is not what you just have accumulated. You need to pass the mindset. So it's not just handing over money or handing over wealth or assets that you have accumulated.
Wow.
One of the major reasons why the people who inherit wealth lavish it is because they don't have the right mindset.
That's right.
So included in your succession plan, you have to ensure that you pass them the right mindset. It's just like the Jewish cycle. They don't just hand over wealth or assets. They pass down, they ensure that the same mindset that they have,
you have
the same mindset that brought about the money, the same mindset that brought about growth is being passed down to the next generation. So included in your succession plan are the values that you have, the values that you possess as a person, the mindsets
that you have as a person needs to be passed down
Passed
to the next
down.
generation.
Yeah.
So proper mentorship, just in fact, if we're to talk about leadership now, of course, all of us are leaders based on influence, right? So you need to have what will I say now? There has to be a structure, right, of learning. There has to be a structure of mentorship where people who work with you not only learn the strategies for accumulation of wealth, but also give them room to tap into your mind.
Your wealth of mind.
Yeah, you have to give them room to tap into the wealth of your mind, because we have established an understanding that wealth starts here.
Yeah.
Wealth starts here.
That means it's safe to say that the first, in terms of sustainability and wealth transfer, the first thing you pass is not the physical
assets
and wealth, is the mindset.
The mindset is
So
very
if
crucial.
you are not able to put the mindset into the next generation, then what you pass to them in terms of physical
material, it cannot be
cannot
sustained.
stay.
It cannot be sustained. It's just like when he said emptying a tank into a small glass. There's just so much it can contain, and that is what usually happens. I read a book, right? It is called Passing the Baton. I can't remember actually the authors. It was written by several authors. I think it was a research, and in that, I think it's a very good book, Passing the Baton. I think we'll look for the cover and share it somehow. When you study that book, you will see a lot of businesses that are owned by Nigerians who failed to put a very good succession plan due to lack of trust.
Yeah.
Some people brought in their family members who have no idea about the business.
Wow.
And they crash it. Some could not trust other people. While you are building, make sure you bring people close to you so that they can learn the process. Don't just push people away. They amassed so much wealth but failed to put succession plan in progress. So they ended up passing the wealth, and of course it wasn't sustained.
So technically we are saying that in the aspect of passing wealth to the next generation, it's not about who you want to pass it to, but the idea must be passed to someone that
who has the capacity. Exactly.
That is capable to hold it. It must not be your favorite son.
No.
It must not be your family member. But for you, if you are building something that must be sustainable and can last, then you have to
ensure that
someone.
Of course.
Yeah, so the sorry to cut you, but you know, everything, although people have different capacities, but personally I believe that capacity can be built.
Exactly.
And over time, whatever it is or wherever it is, can develop themselves into becoming what is valuable and becoming that big in order to contain whatsoever. So you'll find the likes of great minds like the Dangotes sending his daughter for internship.
Exactly.
To, I guess, was it $40 or something like that? I don't know. So you see that those people actually prioritize that aspect of mentorship because they know that is the only way you can expand your capacity. Yes. So that is the only way you can actually expand your capacity. It makes the journey easier. And so your child, most times there are, I guess there are in, like the author now of Think and Grow Rich. It was actually a partnership. Someone told him that come get this information so that you can share it with the rest of the people. Now, these persons, there are some persons in that particular book that actually brought someone that is not part of their lineage. Yes, some people they just brought them close, mentored them, and they became successful.
So they saw potential.
Yes. So all of this thing is possible. You can train up whoever, and some of them can just bypass their own children and go to their grandchildren to be their successors. Why? Because they saw potential.
And saw capacity.
Yes. And I guess capacity can be built. It's based on your availability.
If I have interest, if I don't trust someone outside my family to run my business, for example, if that's what I want to pass down.
Yeah.
If I have a child, the best thing to do is to bring the person closer to you. Mentor the person, build the capacity in that person. If you want that person to inherit your wealth, bring the person closer, mentor him, give him the appropriate knowledge he needs to run the business.
Yeah.
If that is what you want to do. If you don't want to pass the wealth, right? Because actually this is money issues.
Yeah.
There are many ways to go about it. If you want an allocation or a portion of your wealth to go to your family, there are ways to do it.
Yeah.
There are ways to do it. You just need to understand what needs to be done. If I want my family member to carry on with the business, that's fine. Bring that person close to you, teach them, and you hand it over to them. If you don't want your family to be involved, create a system where a portion of your wealth goes to them every year, right? And then allow experts to actually run the business. Because, of course, things are changing.
Of course.
Things are changing. And you cannot bring someone who is dumb to run your business. It's going to crash.
You can't.
That means you are just tarnishing your hard in just a very short period of time.
It's like shooting yourself in the leg.
Actually. So, all right. So now let's transition into talking about sustainability, right? Remember the intro video I did?
Yes. I was going to talk about that.
Yeah.
Where you spoke about the liquid asset wealth. Poverty.
Yeah.
Liquid asset poverty.
Yeah. Okay. Now we've talked about the big guys. Now let's come down to the average Nigerian. So according to that research I came across, right, it says about 60% of Nigerians, about 60% of Nigerians are what is called liquid asset poor, right? And only 21% of the 60% actually have savings. So imagine only 21% of the 60% have savings. That means the rest don't have anything tangible to fall back to. And the idea of liquid asset poverty is if, for example, you run into crisis today, right? Maybe your job stops or something happened and they kick you out, or the Trump policy came and a lot of people lost their jobs.
The jail cycle.
Exactly. And now you don't have anything to fall back to. The sustainability plan when it comes to liquid asset poverty, you need to have enough to sustain you for at least 3 months, even if you run out of job. You need to have enough cash, right, or convertible resources, something that you can easily convert into fiat currency that should be able to sustain you for the next 3 months. So the idea, they said that you can even own a car, you can have a car, you can own investments, or you can have assets, but if you cannot quickly convert it, right, into liquid cash that can solve your problem if you run into if you have an emergency, you're still liquid asset poor. So that research also said that an average household in Nigeria spends around 240,000 naira every month.
240,000 naira. Average.
Yeah, the average spends around about 240,000 naira. So in 3 months, right, you need to have in liquid cash about 720,000 in your account.
That is the threshold.
The threshold, at least.
At least.
If what you spend in a month is 240, in 3 months you need 720 at least, that you can quickly go to the bank, withdraw it, and solve your problem. So for you to be able to escape that means you need to start thinking of ways you can save or create multiple streams of income, so that if your job stops today, at least you have something to fall back to. Very, very important. That is very, very, very crucial. That is crucial.
Add up to that.
Yes, adding up to that. Now, if we're looking at the long-term plan, now coming down to the levels of startups, now, most times we have survival in our mindset.
Yeah.
And that is why we miss it. And if you have survival as a as a mindset, it makes you a consumer. You get it? But if you are bringing out value or you are looking for problems to solve, it helps you with sustainability. You see, and most people are actually safe, and I just want to give just want to make it a four-legged animal so that everything will be balanced. All right. So, you see, it's good to save, but most people save for survival, not for investment. So, as good as that in itself will help you to actually stay well, at least let your family be well, because it's very important. We say wealth is beyond the money. It has to do with your state of health, your state of
state of your mind, peace, everything, because it does with your well-being in general.
Yeah. So once we go away from the survival mindset, and we transition to the place whereby we look for problems to solve, it will help us have sustainable wealth. And so likewise, just like we've rightly said, that looking at solving problems is what actually gives you money. Yeah, once you can solve it day by day, and looking for those things that man cannot do without. And the truth is, those things are littered around. It's just that it takes an inner eye. I don't know, somehow, just for you to see what others are not seeing. It could be in a particular area. It could be in whatever sector. So when we have that idea of giving out value, not just consuming value, it will help us go above whatsoever, like the statistic now that he has. Now let's take, for example, someone diversified. And maybe aside from his job, he has a business. You get it? He has a business. No, so you see that if his job should stop,
his business is running.
His business is running.
Yeah.
So he will not be a victim of the liquid asset poverty. So that is where you see we talk about diversification when it comes to investment.
So I think I just got something very profound from you. In wealth, in building sustainable wealth,
yes, sir.
Something profound that you just said is that one has to leave the zone of being a consumer into the zone of being a solution provider. I mean, that's very striking. You have to just move out from the zone of consumption into the zone of providing solution. What do you have to say about that, sir?
Well, it's very crucial because, just like you said, there are problems everywhere. One of the major reasons why I believe people don't solve problems is because they don't see themselves as problem solvers.
So it has to do with you seeing yourself as a solution provider.
You have to see yourself. Do you know, I mean, you have worked with a lot of people, you have been a leader. I know you as someone who has been a leader. Do you realize that most people actually only bring complaints to you, but not solutions? And when you look at it, these are the same people you tell them, do this and do that and do this and do that, and they end up solving the same problem. The problem with that is they don't see themselves as people who should provide that solution at first. That's why they don't even care to do anything about it. So it's more of a mindset. So you have to, for you to transition from being a consumer, right, to someone who produces, you need to see yourself as someone who is capable of solving problems, someone who is capable of coming up with valuable things that should be able to give value to others as well.
Just lastly, to add on with that, I guess, and one thing we usually used to feel is the daring. One thing we usually used to feel is that people don't dare to start. They want to start perfect.
Well, that's actually a problem because
Yes.
it's not just people. I mean, even me, I struggle with that.
Everyone struggles with that.
Yeah, sometimes you just want to get a lot of things in place before you step out.
Yeah.
You have to you want to get this, you want to get this, you want to have this, and I just discovered that sometimes you would never be ready.
There's no place
you
like
would
that.
never be ready. So the only way is to dare.
Yes. Just start.
Is to dare.
Just start.
Just start.
Oh.
Start. Do it afraid. Do it afraid. Do it afraid. Yeah.
So if you're out there and there's something you want to start it. Do it afraid. Do it afraid. Do it afraid, according to the cryptomania. Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah.
So, sir, just to wrap up on this session, what do you have to say in general?
All right. So, like I said, like we established from the beginning, rather, right, that building sustainable wealth, right, is not just about having, but growing, and not just about growing, but passing it to the next generation. So, one thing I will leave with you is that whatever it is that you have, you must learn to grow it, and after it grows, right, everything carries a potential in it, which is a seed. So for the ability for that thing to be sustained is actually within itself, right? So you just have to learn to see the seed in what has been given to you, or in what you are doing, or in the wealth that you acquire, and learn to sow the seed so that it continues growing, and learn to actually diversify and spread your wings around. That is the only way you can build sustainable wealth. There are other financial principles, right? Which is you need to have the discipline of saving. You need to track your financials, your budgeting, and all of that. You need to learn not to lavish. Yeah, you need to learn to delay certain things, right? Just like we set examples before. So actually, that's basically everything. So learn to see the seed in whatever you are seeing. There's a seed in it, and learn to sow the seed.
Wow, this is mind-blowing. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, sir. It is a mind-blowing session, and you people can see it for yourself that, man, this is deep. Well, we will expound more on this in the next episode, but for this session, I just want to say a big thank you to you, sir. It was really a mind-blowing session. Thank you so much. And to you, sir, thank you so much for having you on the show. We will have them again on the next episode, where we go deep into the subject matter of building sustainable wealth. So for now, thank you so much. Remember, this is MomentumX, creating moments for your next level. We see you on the next episode.